This is day after Mother's Day. You and I talked some time ago and said we were going to talk about your incident with your daughter, and you haven't spoken with anyone about that.
I have not.
First of all, our condolences for your loss. We came here, I think you're meeting with your pastor and some folks and planning some arrangements and things when that happened. It's been about 7 months.
7 months, yeah.
October. How you doing?
I'm taking every second at a time.
When you when this happened, there was not much details about it. Make sure my phone is on. What can you share about what happened?
Senseless kids being reckless, playing with guns.
And she when you say kids, they're friends or?
A friend, the person who shot and killed my daughter was allegedly playing with a gun.
And did it happen here or somewhere else?
No, it actually happened at his home. Can't get into that, especially to considering it was a minor. So a lot of information is, of course, by them being juveniles, can't be publicized or names or anything.
But it's been tough for you and your family. So just talk about how you've been dealing with it. And
it's been definitely difficult, very unexpected. As a mother, I'm grieving. Then I still have to be a mother. I still have to continue to do mother things, take care of my other children. I have 3 other children. I have a son that just shipped off to Japan. So he was my oldest son. Coryonna Young passed away. She was my oldest daughter. So I have 2 children here, one in elementary, 2nd grade, going to the 2nd grade, and I also have one in middle school, freshman. So it's very difficult for them because they're still processing it. They miss their sister. As a mother, it's different. Home is quiet. I'm not used to the quietness. I'm used to all of my children being in a home together. Arguing, this kid she has my shirt on, she used my gel, my edge control, so I miss that. And just, Mother's Day, it was bittersweet. It was bittersweet because I had the community still to this day, the community support me. One of her classmates, they went to elementary school together. He came by and brought flowers, and that made me smile because, yesterday was, somewhat of a hard day. So it's hard. I'm taking each second at a time. It hurts. I try to be strong, for my other children. Of course, me being on council, it's still juggling, just having to juggle everything.
Now, how old was your daughter?
When she passed away, she was 15. Her birthday was that following month, so that was her 16.
So she was 16?
She was 15 when it happened.
So November,
Yes, November 30th, she would have been 16.
Since this happened in October, you had Thanksgiving, you had Christmas.
Well, yeah, Mother's Day, her birthday. Yeah, so since she passed away, her birthday has went by. She would have turned 16. Christmas, my other daughter's birthday, Mother's Day just passed. So it's been a lot over from the holidays since her death.
What happens for you in terms of getting over this, or even a timetable for that matter?
I don't think it will probably ever be a timetable. Again, I'm hurting every day. Throughout the day, I think about her. Do I have closure? I believe I do, knowing what took place. It's unfortunate that it happened, but I believe truly I do have closure, and I think that plays a role with trusting in God, having faith, and praying.
And in that spiritual realm, there's, they say, forgiveness. You're familiar with the family that this happened to. How are they dealing with this, and is there forgiveness?
Yes, I forgive him. Since the incident, I've been over to the home multiple occasions. spoken to him to tell him, I'm hurt, I'm pissed off, but I forgive you. And the fact that by me telling him that made him feel a little bit better, because his family is going through something as well. So both sides of the family has been impacted. I don't think nobody could hurt more than I hurt, but I've been impacted, my family, his family, the community. So, but I look at it like we all in this together, but I absolutely forgive him. I'm hurt, but I do forgive him.
What was her aspiration in terms of going to school and stuff?
Well, she always wanted to go, she was in ROTC, she wanted to go into the Air Force. She wanted to fly.
Did she really?
You always have that one kid that's like, But yeah, she wanted to be a pilot.
Would she have made it, you think?
She would have. One thing about her, whenever she put her mind to doing something, she does it. You can show her something in seconds and she'll catch on just like that. She's always been a fast learner. Even in sports, her first time playing baseball, she ended up making like MVP, like her first time she learned Spanish, was fluent in Spanish. When she started middle school, her freshman year, she ended up becoming like the cheer captain, so anything that she touched, she was great at it.
Other children look at that loss of a brother, of a sister.
A sister.
Yeah.
They're devastated. I think same thing with them. It's just, we're just taking it one day at a time. I think what's difficult is by me being in a position that I'm in, it's like it's open to the world, so when my kids go to school, they hear kids talk about it. And not in a negative way so much, it's just the fact that they knew her. My daughter played in sports, cheers, she was active in church, Girl Scouts, so a lot of people knew her. So everywhere my daughters go, somehow they run into somebody who see her, know her. So it's difficult for them. But one thing I always tell them, God blessed us with her 15 years, and 15 good years. So, when we think of things, at least our family, me and my husband always have conversations, if something happened to us, we have this, we have this lined up for our children. This was unexpected. We would have never thought in a million years we're worried about us living, or not being here for a certain period of time and the kids having to figure it out without us being here. But we're trying to figure it out without my daughter being here, without our daughter being here. So it's a struggle. But one thing too is that the relationship that we have, like she's always going to be in our memory because she played such a vital role. She was like second mom, she's my oldest, my first daughter. So having her showed me how to be a mother.
And now you're on the Crime Commission?
Yes, too, I do want to thank Governor Roy Cooper for appointing me for the Governor's Crime Commission.
And you had your first meeting last week.
We had our first meeting this past Thursday, which I'm definitely excited about serving and being a part of this board because that shows transparency. We have individuals that's on the board who are that's in law, officers, deputies, mental health. So just to be able to serve on that board, to bring ideas to help fund cities within a state because it's on a state level. So we see different crimes going on in different cities. So just being able to have that opportunity to help support them financially through grants is going to be it's going to be a great thing.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I see your tears. Those tears have nothing to do with the Crime Commission. So what's going through your head right now?
Her death is not going to go in vain. For me, I look at it like God is using her for a purpose, for a reason. The position I'm in, I'm able to connect with other individuals who experience this and make it a little bit more personal, in my opinion, because you have individuals in different positions who may only see things from one way. In my case, I'm looking at things on city council, looking at on that type of lens, and as a mother who experienced a death of a child. So I think it's going to be a little bit different on the way the board and just the community look at things.
How do we change this? What has to change?
I think, of course, as parents, we have to have these conversations with our children. The school system, our kids spend majority of their time more so at school than they do anywhere else. Mentorship, because I think that's where it starts. So I think we need more programs within the school system. Our community, we need to come together and try to stop it. I think a lot of times the community, we're afraid to get in the middle. When we see things, we turn our head and not speak up. I think once the community start doing a little bit more of that, going back to how it used to be, where you have your grandmom or the neighborhood watching, observing the kids. Nowadays, people are afraid to say something or to correct a kid when they're in the wrong. They're fearful of what their parent, is going to do or say. I remember back in the day when kids argued or had fights, you used to be able to go to the school and have a parent conference with both parents. They no longer do that because they fear of parents getting into it. So it's hard. I think mental health play a role in it. Poverty. A lot of kids are angry, hurting, not saying that's okay to harm other people, but it's just so much. And I think if we had the answers, we wouldn't have this problem. So I just think as a community, we just have to continuously work together to try to fix this issue. I would tell mothers, fathers, family members who've lost loved ones due to gun violence, stay strong, stay prayed up,